Merry Christmas!
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude!
Daniel-san!
How are we doing?
It's been ages.
Far too long, Chris. Far too long.
And I tell you what, how is Mrs. Riley?
Yeah, I think she's all right. She's doing everyone's head in, but she's all right.
Oh, don't you have a go at the love of my life? my woman of my dreams. Well, she wasn't until she had you. Then it was a nightmare. Welcome along. Welcome along.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
It is. It's been a while because you've been doing the boys from the black stuff, and
you've been topping your tan up in Lanzarote.
What can I say? What can I say? Play your cards right. I'll get my white bits out later.
I'm still not over the trauma of those pictures from yesterday, Chris.
Oh God! Oh, thing is that's my aim is to look like that. Anybody? I don't think I've still got it saved. I don't think I have. But if anybody wants to go on to yesterday's show, which was the Christmas special one, and you'll be able to see a beautiful picture of me. I like to think it's beautiful anyway. The picture of Dan, yeah, not so much. But let's just see. I might be able to bring it up actually.
Chris, look at the screen.
Ah, there you go.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. What can I say? A fine figure of a man.
Just everything I wish to be.
Well, one day, who knows, you might be. If you keep working at it, one day your dream will come true.
One Christmas away, mate. That's all. I look down and I'm one Christmas away.
I love what Peter Cade, how he described it one day. Like, you know, the toy shop has got a veranda above it. Anyway, welcome along, everybody. Two channels coming together, but not quite. But that's the idea. Leicester Till I Die TV and Turf Moorhouse TV, who will be talking all about Burnley later. But we'll also be talking a lot of other stuff as well. Around the world of football. Look, I know you're obviously not a huge Leicester fan.
What gave that away?
I don't know. I did tell your mother she had to bring you up as a Leicester fan, but there you go. Something else she let me down on. I don't know.
I love her music. I love her music. Oh, I think she misheard. She must have thought you said Gloria Estefan. But I thought, you know.
Yeah, all right, mate. All right. There is actually a Leicester fan, Steve. Hi, Steve, if you're watching. I doubt he is because he's in New Zealand at the moment. But his actual Instagram handle is Gloria Leicester fan.
Why not? Why not? It works. It
It
works.
does. It does. It does. Look, I want to talk Leicester first of all, because obviously we're more of the priority. And you probably didn't see the game against Ipswich the other day.
Funnily enough, I did.
You did? Well, that's very decent of you, sir. I want to basically show you these two.
Down the right for Clark. Nunes. No room. Combination of Thomas and then Skip. He'll find Daycourt over Reed. A long diagonal out to the right flank for Fatawu. Switch of play now for Steffi Mavididi. Corner of the 18-yard box, takes his time. Almost a heavy touch from Luke Thomas, but it's turned out quite nicely through the legs of Marcelino Nunes! Huge deflection of Bobby Daycourt over Reed. Effort from range. It wrong-footed Walton. And Leicester City surged into an early lead.
Wow, what a strike from Bobby Daycourt over Reed that was. Again, he started to move off. The ball lands to him about in the middle of the park, and he spreads the ball out to the right-hand side, and Abdul Fatawu, he's got a bit of time, got a bit of space. The crowd are urging him to go forward and take on the fullback, but he doesn't. He comes inside. Sorry, he comes inside and plays it to the opposite side of the pitch to Steffi Mavididi, and then that touch from Luke Thomas almost gets picked out, but he just makes sure he gets it to Bobby Reed. One touch to set himself, and then he just hits it with the outside of his instep, and it just fizzes past the keeper into that far right-hand corner.
Don't go away. I'm here. There I am. Yeah, I mean, on its own, what a goal.
Absolute peach. Absolute peach of an effort.
Have you ever, and I'm sure you have, as every fan has, and hi Blue Fox, by the way, how you doing, mate? Looking very festive, ho, ho, ho. If you ever wondered why I've got a big sack, it's because I only come once a year. But anyway, it starts, everybody. Have you ever, because I've had to eat a lot of humble pie, because when we signed this guy a couple of years ago under Steve Cooper, I wasn't even this annoyed when we signed Jordan Ayew. I'm thinking, what the bloody hell are we signing this player for? Now, he was played on the wing when he did play, and I have to say, I mean, he's what, 33, 34, possibly now, 32. He's not fast enough now to be a winger, but he slotted into that number 10 role because obviously, you know, Mr. Aaron Ramsey, who we have on loan from you, thank you very much, is out injured with his hamstring, and he slotted in and he's popping the goals in.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault it. The goals needed to come from somewhere, and why not? You can't say much fairer than that. They are decent finishers. Let's not take that away from it. A goal's a goal at the end of the day, but when you see something like that and you witness something like that, they're goals that not just, you know, lift you as a fan, but as a player, it must make you feel like, you know, no, I've still got a lot to give. Yeah. If I can still score goals like that, I know I've got it in my locker to even, you know, get the tap-ins, get the easy ones. Not fair play to Bobby Daycourt Reed. I think he's been around, hasn't he? I think he played at Bristol City and Fulham. But yeah, you need players like that have got the experience to actually start showing that experience to help the young lads through. And
the way I look at this is, Dan, is that we've got this Aaron Ramsey from you, who apparently is going to, you know, is the next sort of wonder kid. He was out for almost the whole season, wasn't he, with an ACL at Burnley? Was that right?
Yeah, he were, yeah.
And then he came back, and then everybody who has an ACL also seems to end up getting a hamstring as well, which he did. Now, you would normally say, well, as soon as he's fit and he is training again, so we are going to have him back at some point, put him straight back in. But I think he's got to wait his turn for Bobby Reed to. I mean, I think he'll probably be played 20 minutes and then and eased in. But when he's playing like that, he's going to have to wait his turn. I don't think there's any reason why any player just walks back into a team.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't ever be like that. I think you've always got to earn your pedigree, and once you stake a claim to that position, unless you have a bad week or things just don't go your way, tactically you need to change it because the other team have, tried to nullify your game. Then maybe he'll find a way back in, but he's got to overcome that injury. It's another setback, not one that he'd want. Like I say, he's been out for a long period of time. I hope he does come back, obviously, back into the fray, 'cause it's nice to see him playing football. But if things are going right for Leicester, then personally, you take the Burnley thing away from it. Reed keeps his place, simple as that.
Hi to Niall, by the way. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for popping in. And hi to Armchair, who says, don't think Ramsey can take competitive football. I think that's a bit unfair. I think he can. You just have, it was the same with, I was talking about him earlier on BTG. Ricardo, when they've had a really bad injury, it does take them a while to get back into it. And obviously, you want him back playing because that's why you lent him out to us in the first place.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know it myself. I've done my ACL myself, and it's very excruciating.
You sportsman.
I did it playing football in a 7-a-side league. I had the ball at my feet, and I made one step forward. Next thing I remember, I'm picking myself up off the floor, and I looked round and I went, "Which one of you horrible bastards just chopped me?" And they went, "You had the ball at your feet. You took one step forward, and you went over on your arse." And I thought, "What?" So obviously my leg just snapped. I ended up playing the rest of the match in goal, dragging my leg behind me. And I didn't go to the hospital for 2 days until my literal foot was like three times the size. It's horrible. And I didn't, it's only in the last 2 years that I actually got back into playing again. And I've still not been the same. It still gives me a little bit of jip every now and again, but I don't get the option of a little, a little known, we can get you through 90 minutes. Here's this little jab into your ACL.
Well, I'll tell you what, as well, you wouldn't have hurt yourself because you landed on your arse. And that's plenty of cushion there. Hi, Fibbo. How are you doing? Nice to see you, mate. Welcome along. Right, well, I mean, that goal, in fairness, was good enough to win any game. Just seen. But then, when you've got a player that has been challenged by his teammates to do what he does in training in a live match, and he comes out and does this.
Oh my goodness! What a sensational goal from Abdul Fatawu from inside his own half of the pitch. With Aid scored over Reed, but the pass from O'Shea straight to Fatawu, who spotted the goalkeeper off his line. He's retreating, Walton. Fatawu! Oh my goodness! What a sensational goal from Abdul Fatawu from inside his own half of the pitch. It's a piece of magic.
I don't know what to say, Charlie. You only see stuff like that on the TV. That is quite incredible. He skips back initially, wins the ball. It's a crossfield ball from O'Shea. Just goes straight to Fatawu. He picks it up, drifts past two players.
So indulge me in watching it from every angle that was possible. 6 angles. There may have been another one on there. I thought I'll put you out your misery. Yeah, Blue says anything DBCR can do, Fatawu can do better. Trevor makes a very good point here. I think these types of goals will happen more often with the way keepers are used. Fatawu. Bit of ABBA there for you. An evening, Nate. How are you doing? I mean, can you blame the keeper for that? I mean, he's doing what he's being asked to do these days. We all know that it's the sweeper keeper. You know, if you're not a sweeper keeper, you're not going to get near the first team. Even though if you were a sweeper keeper, I mean, he was literally, and I've seen, we nearly got caught out. I think last time we were in the championship with Stolarczyk being so far forward. It's I don't know. I'm old fashioned. Is it silly?
I don't know. I think when you watch it, you can see how Ipswich are trying to come on the attack. You've got basically 11 men behind the ball. Ipswich are trying to come forward. Everybody's bombed forward. Even the centre back Dara O'Shea is on the halfway line when he tries to pick the pass that Fatawu intercepts. And then obviously because the keeper's that far out as well, thinking, look, I've got to come out here and have a bit more freedom. But let's not take anything away from Fatawu, because that
making me head itch.
That was absolutely incredible. Like, we have seen people take those shots on, and they don't always go the way you want it. You know, he's had the look of the bounce. He's got it pinpoint on target. He's had the audacity to even knock it through someone's legs and then go. One's bitten twice shy. He's literally going, I'll take you on, and then that numpty's off his line. I'm going to go for it. So Bolton's beaten well and truly. I can't see him being Ipswich's keeper for long if he's going to keep conceding goals like that, especially 2 in that sort of game from range.
I mean, I suppose those are the difficult. The Covereed ones are the difficult ones to stop. And Tribbo will probably remember this. We used to have a player, Joey Good Johnson, back at the Filbert Street days when
he played for us as well.
He did. Yes, we sold him.
He scored a pearler against Preston for us from range.
Yeah, I love that guy. Loved him to bits. I think he signed my ball, if you pardon the expression. I think because when we played Burnley, that's when my kids were mascots for Leicester, because I was living, as you know, in Burnley at the time. And there is a signed ball, and apparently, if you wanted to know, Dion Dublin has got the most massive dick going. That's according to my son. You see, educational as well as entertaining, this show.
Holmes under the hammer was just a euphemism.
Indeed. Sledgehammer, I think, in his case.
He's got a cul-de-sac underneath.
But I mean, it's ridiculous how high the keepers come. It really is. I say we under Enzo, we nearly got caught out. I think it was against Watford, funnily enough. And I was just talking to, this is my 3rd show tonight. I was on a Watford show because we're playing them Boxing Day, and they were talking about different players, and I was saying Fatawu can be so frustrating. He'll go down that wing and he'll nutmeg somebody, or even chip the ball over them and then go around them and pick it up and carry on. But he doesn't like to pass the ball. But then he goes and does something like that. And you're thinking, I know nothing about the game of football.
It's mad. Like I said, they are freak goals, but they're absolute stunners when they come off. The ones that you'll always come back to, you'll always remember, even in games that you sort of don't win, but you've hit a good run of form at the perfect time. And to be honest, like I say, two stunners out 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf once said.
Indeed, he did. Indeed, he also said "bat out of hell," and that was a shot like it was a bat out of hell.
It was.
I mean, that was the thing with it. He picked it up in a defensive position, nutmegged somebody, and then ran on and kicked it, and apparently it was 70 yards. Was the distance. Now I'm just looking here, and of course
Who's that David Beckham bloke? Never.
Who?
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 Who? Fatawu?
That's taken the shine off his golden balls, hasn't it? Now this was published 5 months ago, and the 10 longest goal ever scored in football history. Number 10, but he's now will be off. It was Charlie Adam. Scored one of the most audacious long-range goals. I haven't got the goals to show you for obviously copyright reasons. Against Chelsea, spotting Courtois off his line, Adam struck the ball from well inside his own half. It flew perfectly over the keeper and into the net. At number 9, it was Diego Ribas de Cunha. Well done, Chris. That was between 65 and 70 yards, and that was for Wolfsburg. Paul Robinson, when he was at Tottenham Hotspur, at 80 yards. He joined an exclusive club of goalkeepers to score from open play. His 2007 long free kick bounced awkwardly in front of the opposition. It doesn't say who it's against, actually.
I think it was against Watford, if I remember rightly. It was against Ben Foster.
You could, you one goalkeeper.
I think I remember that goal.
Yeah. David Bingham, now having ridiculed American players on the Watford show, 90 to 95 yards for San Jose Earthquakes. Maybe an earthquake did help him. MLS goalkeeper David Bingham scored an incredible goal during a pre-season game. Who cares then?
That don't count.
No. Clearing the ball from his own penalty area, and it bounced over the opposition goalkeeper. We are, like I say, pre-season. No. Mode Sam Missouri Mustafa. Now, he must have won an award, Mustafa, wouldn't it? It was for T-Team. Now, that's what it's actually called. 95 to 100 yards. In the Malayan League, Mode Samuelzi Mustafa made headlines. I feel like I'm bursting into Lion King here.
Oh, Mustafa!
Yeah.
105-yard scream, mama.
I don't know what you're on this week, mate, but keep taking it. In the Malaysian league, so they're all 4 foot nothing anyway. His goal kick from inside his own box went straight into the opponent's net. The distance, estimated close to 100 yards, made it one of Asia's longest goals. Andy Lonergan, the Preston North End, 95 to 100 yards. English goalkeeper, scored one of the most unexpected goals of his career. 2004. His booming clearance turned into a direct goal when the opposing keeper misjudged the bounce. Tim Howard. Now, there's a name from the past. Number 4. Tim Howard scored for Everton against Bolton Wanderers in 2012 with a wind-assisted strike from his own penalty area. Number 3 is Mateus de Toro, 95 to 100. That was for Universidad Católica in Chile. Number 2. Another Leicester player in here. Asmir Bekovic. 100.5 yards for Stoke City. Asmir Berkovic's goal against Southampton in 2013 held the Guinness Book World Record for the longest goal for several years. Number 1, Tom King from Newport County. 105 yards. The longest goal ever scored in football history belongs to Tom King of Newport County. In 2021, his goal kick travelled an astonishing 105 yards, officially verified by the Guinness World Records. Now, to my mind, well done to all of them, in fairness, but you're never going to, when it's a goal kick, or you're kicking it out, whether it's dropping out your hands or kicking it off the ground, they're always going to be the longest, aren't they?
Yeah, because you've got to put so much behind it. You've got time to kick it forward. the only problem that those goals come from keepers misinterpreting the bounce.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, there was some of that in what Walton was doing, but from a keeper's perspective, you know, you've got time. That ball is in your hand. You know, when you're on that pitch and you're playing, and you seize an opportunity, and you've got a split second to look up and then think, "Fuck it, do I? Do I do it?" And you just hit it. When you hit that out on the pitch in the middle of a game, a competitive fixture, it's so hard to do. Must be so hard to do. But to even have the audacity to do it is just, you know, fair play to him. What a screamer!
Well, the football oracle that is the Sun said Leicester star Abdul Fatawu puts David Beckham to shame as he scores one of the longest range goals ever. And Fatawu himself said, when I hit it, I had no doubt. Like I say, he was being urged to do it. He does it a lot on training. Well, it's 65.2 metres out, but I'm rounding it up to 70.
I'm just thinking, Chris, was it a shot or was it just to just to get it clear before it ends up getting anywhere near Vestergaard?
I know what you're saying. I mean, he obviously was going for it because, like I say, he'd been built up to do it. Apart from that goal, says Jay hasn't been the player he was 2 seasons ago. No, he wasn't. But then 2 seasons ago, he was playing in a winning team, you know, and he'd got decent players around him now. Let's be honest with you, they're all shit. And Blue, Vardy's goal against Liverpool is still my number 1 Leicester goal. But I do have a little preference for Vardy's goal against Burnley when you missed the penalty and we went up the other end and scored. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Now then, let's have a look at the Premier League, shall we? A couple of teams I want to talk about here, as I'm sure you know. And I'm sorry for doing this. So let's talk Burnley first. We did kind of touch on this last night, sorry. And I did kind of think that this was the season when maybe the teams, the promoted teams, were going to actually manage to stay up. Sunderland absolutely doing brilliantly. Well done to them. I had Leeds United to stay up because they'd had that extra season down there. Burnley, the thing that stopped me thinking Burnley would stay up was a certain Mr. Parker. I thought, why you've got Mr. Parker in charge, you ain't staying up in the Premier League. Now, I remember you saying, no, Chris. They'll be all right. He's got look at how we were last season. Only letting about 1.5 goals or something. You know, only lost a couple of games. We'll be doing fine. And then I came across, and I think if I said rant, I might be understating it a little bit. Your post game at the weekend, and who was it you played at the weekend?
Fulham.
Your post Fulham rant. And I think you may have changed your mind.
I think I might, yeah. It's an absolute shit show. A team rolls up to Turf Moor, hasn't won in 74 years. It's 1951. Even my own parents weren't alive the last time Fulham won at Turf Moor. And it's just, you know, I actually thought this is a game that, you know, Parker was the previous manager of Fulham before Marco Silva. He'll know how to sort of counteract some of the players that played under him. Did he balls? He put out a squad. He's got right wingers and left wingers central, sat on his bench, and he sticks a striker on right wing. He brings Mark Trezor in, who's a left winger / cam, and plays him practically on the end of Maxime Estev's knob. It was ridiculous, mate. I'm calling it as it is. You can't be putting CDMs in 10 and 10s in CDM. He's picking his squads like it's the fucking FA Cup, right? And it's like, oh, I'll just put a weakened side out because we're playing Aki Stanley or something. No offense, Aki Stanley, but it's just I've had enough. I've had enough of it now. It's just the same shit. You've got to be horrible behind closed doors. He's not being horrible. He's being too much of a Mr. Nice guy. That's not going to get you anywhere in football. Sorry, but and this is a plea to Alan Pace if he comes across this as well. That stop being loyal to your managers. Chris, you said it. You thought you had that as well with Top and Brendan. That there was too much, of a friendship.
Yeah.
So that's what I think Pace has got. He did the same with Company. And I said to people the other day, I said, we need to get rid of Parker. They're like, no, it's them at board level. I said, oh, well, that's all right then, because we'll get relegated and Parker will go on to manage a flaming big top 4 European side, won't he? Because he's such the audacity of the man. He's just got everything about him. I would happily go to the boozer with Scott Parker tomorrow. Seems like a lovely guy who'd be like, no, I'll get these. Brilliant. Football pitch? Nah. People say the one last thing I want to add though, Chris, is a lot of people say that Dash was one of those managers like Big Sam. He'd keep you up in the Prem. Scott Parker isn't. Scott Parker is a Neil Warnock. He is a I will get you up out of the Championship. I will do this. He's one of those that in 10, 15 years' time is getting an award in the EFL for his services to the EFL because everybody, apart from probably 2 teams out of the 24, is managed and he's managed to get them promoted at least once. So
that's the thing, isn't it? And that's what I said. What has changed though? Because last year you were so compact. You were the team to beat. You had an amazing record last year. I mean, if I was to bring up my dinner, if I was to bring up, which I probably would do, I mean, I joked because you wanted Steve Cooper and we got him. You wanted Ruud van Nistelrooy, you bastards, you didn't take him, and we got him. And you ended up with Scott. And I made a joke of it, didn't I? Saying, thanks very much, mate. You've taken one for the whole football league here. I mean, look, all right, you finished second on goal difference, right? But you lost 2 games out of 46. You conceded 16 goals in 46 games. Now, yes, look, you can see we're Leicester, but we had a different manager come in. It is a different game when you get up to the Premier League. And I don't think Enzo would have kept us up, to be honest with you. But obviously him leaving and taking all his staff with him left us up shit creek without the paddle. So what is different? Did you have loan players that you couldn't keep, and you've got a depleted squad? Is it different tactics? What were you doing well last season that you're not doing this season?
Defending for a start. I think we've gone from being a pragmatic side that was very hard to beat. Let's look back at the Championship. We didn't concede many, but we didn't really score many either. We nicked games here and there.
Yeah, 69 scored.
I mean, it's. I don't know. It's such a tough call that this season, all I keep seeing is zonal marking is shit. Burnley have been a team built over the years on being resilient at the back, and it just seems like everything's fallen apart. It's the simplest question in the chat. I would have Thomas Frank in a heartbeat. I think that it's just that step up to a club like Spurs that I think he needs to be given time. But I would take him. I've even said I'd take Daniel Farker because I don't think Leeds fans appreciate the job that he's doing there. But Scott Parker right now, he needs to change something drastically. But it seems like he's just going to go, oh, well, I'll just try this. This is something I've seen on Football Manager last week. I'll try that. Cut the zonal marking. Cut the bullshit. You've got players in there that should know how to read a game. You know,
Yeah.
if your manager's told you, I need you to play down that left-hand side, don't cut in, and watch for the run of the left winger. Right, okay, brilliant. I'll do that. But then as a 25-year-old, 26-year-old player, you should not, right, he's getting the better of me on that when I'm doing that. So maybe I'm going to have to read a game, read the room, and try and sort of do what I need to do to help this team win. Now, if he goes in at half time, Parker goes, why are you doing different to what I told you? Well, could you not see that he was getting the better of me? You'd have lynched me off and said that I was playing shit. I think some of the players need to back and fight back and say, look, if that's not working, we're using initiative of how to read this game.
Yeah.
To be honest, mate, it's just a farce. I thought we were going to do pretty well, having one of the best defensive records, if not the best defensive record in the EFL. And it's just gone absolutely peaked on.
You've lost 12 this season, 10 more than you did last season. You've conceded 33 goals, which is almost double what you conceded in the whole season.
We didn't even concede, Chris, this many under Vincent Kompany.
I'm going to say, because I'm comparing you coming up to Leicester coming up. We were a little bit different, and I'm going to come to nice to see Simple in the Spurs fan there. Welcome along, mate. And I know I say it's different in as much as we were fucked when Enzo went off and did his thing at Chelsea. But when you come up as good as we did, or as good as you did, I'm not going to say that you're going to go and, I think the days of when like Blackpool got promoted and they were sat at the top of the Premier League for a couple of weeks, or, that sort of thing's gone now. But
I think they were riding that high, though, aren't they? They were a team that weren't expected to get promoted, got promoted.
No, they weren't.
And then there was like, oh, we're on this street now. Look at us. Like, we've been promoted. Everything was on a high. They were higher than the tower.
I won't say that because after we went up with you last time, we only just stayed up.
Well, yeah.
Not few games. But no, what I mean is, though, sometimes, like, a team can come up and everybody goes, shit, what am I doing against this team? They're a little bit different. But I don't think those days exist anymore, as well as Sunderland are doing. But when I'm looking at Burnley coming up, I'm thinking, well, all right, you might struggle against the top 10, right? But that still leaves 10 teams that you should be able to compete against. Sunderland, who you played last season, Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, Forest, Leeds, West Ham and Wolves, who only just stayed up last season. I'm not sure who your 3 wins were against, but that's sort of what, for me, when we came up, was the gauge I was looking at. I didn't expect to beat Aston Villa. I didn't expect to beat Man United, although everybody was doing except us, So that's why, I'm so you're 6 points off safety, mate.
This is the problem, right? At the start of the season, we had a sense of optimism. We knew that we had teams from the top 6 that we were going to come up against before all the other promoted sides. And we even kept saying, if we get anything out of them, brilliant. But they've still got to go and play the top 6 yet. So let's not worry about what we've got to do. Let's just do what we need to do. We took Manchester United to 90 plus something minutes. And fortunately, give away a shitty penalty in the dying minutes. Same against Liverpool and ended up losing it. That could have been 2 points there. Our three wins were against Leeds, Sunderland, and Wolves. Now, they were the teams that you need to be beating. However, we were quite, there's games that we actually looked like we gave a shit in at the start. And we actually thought, people are saying now, oh, the recruitment's bad, the players are bad. They weren't bad at the start of the season when we're like, hold on, let's wait and to see how Leeds get on against Chelsea. Let's wait to see how everybody else gets on. They've managed to get results. I look back the other week when we played Crystal Palace, we lost 1-0. Turned to other screen, they had the Leeds game on against Chelsea, and Leeds were 3-1 up. And Leeds weren't sitting back on that. They were still trying to go for the kill. And I just thought, where is our urgency? We get just in front of midfield and shit ourselves. There's nobody occupying the gaps, nobody trying to create space. We even on Saturday against Fulham, tried to play the ball over the top. Like I said the other day, Chris, 66 minutes into that game on Saturday, the highlight for me was there was somebody in the background letting fireworks off. That was the best performance I'd seen.
The thing is, as well, is because anybody who doesn't know, I was on holiday last week, so I slipped that in again, and
that's what he said.
That's why I'm sat on a cushion. And I watched the Leeds Brentford game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to be honest here. I wanted Brentford to win because I can't stand Leeds. No, well, it is very personal. I just don't like them. And then my mate who I was with, his best friend is a Leeds fan, so he wanted Leeds to win, and it was 1-1 at the end of the day. And Brentford were awful. Leeds should have won that. Brentford went ahead. Leeds were. I mean, the game was. I mean, it was like watching two pub teams. You know, you couldn't think they were professional footballers. They couldn't pass the wind, as they say. But but Leeds wanted it. And even when they went 1-0 down, you felt it was coming. And all banter aside, I said to my mate, he said, "Come on, you got to admit, we deserve that." I said, "I'm going to admit that you actually probably deserved all 3 points, if I'm honest with you." But I don't see that fight in Burnley.
No, I don't. I don't either. I just think there is no fight. It's like I say, we had a team of players that believed in each other. The season started and we played like that. It's only recently where it's literally gone to the dogs, and there's only one person you can blame for taking the sting out of it, and that lies at the foot of the management and his staff. So whether they call bad recruitment, whether they want to say Alan Pace is trying to sell his arse upstairs or whatever, you know what? People can have their own assumptions. But initially, it lies down with the manager on that football pitch. And quite frankly, it's not good enough. We lose this Saturday at Bournemouth. It will be the 4th time in our history that we have equaled our worst losing run. I think it was 1895. And
I remember that.
And then Craig and Dave will remember the earlier one, which was like just a bit closer to when we first started. But no, and then we've got what? We've got Everton day after Boxing Day. Turf Moor used to be this place where it was such a hard place to come to. The fans are so close to the pitch. It's like you're playing against 20-odd thousand.
Have you still got wooden seats in the away end?
No, it's all plastic now.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Last time I was there, it was wooden seats. But look,
no, things have got to change, mate.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start.
It's just like Parker to get a fucking result this weekend, put us through misery of having to sit there watching his boring shit again. A January transfer window, and just, mate, I've had enough. I just want.
Do you want to? All right, then. Let me say this, because this is often said about players. Do you want? And I had a go. We're going to come on to Leicester in a bit, but I've never actually said that I want my team to lose to get the manager sacked. But is that what you're saying with Parker?
I don't think it's a case of wanting them to lose. I think it's a case of I know that that's going to happen because of the way that we are set up at the moment. It's not going to bear fruits. It's not too late to change things. If we were to sack him now, Armchair, to be honest, this manager's going to have a January window, to say, look, I'm going to change a few things. I don't think this person's quite good enough, etc. The big question is, who do you get in? I mean, there's not a plethora of managers anymore out there, but yet again, Burnley have been a pilot for a lot of managers that really haven't come with a big CV. Sean Dash, I think, managed 1 game at Watford before he became Burnley manager, and then, ended up basically building his career off that.
couple of seasons ago, everybody down the bottom changed the manager. After about 10, 12 games, we were in to see how things were going. We obviously changed. Southampton changed. Everybody except two. Ipswich, they changed, and it didn't work for them. Sorry, the Ipswich didn't change, sorry, and it didn't work for them, but I can understand them sticking with McKenna. Wolves changed and they managed to stay up, but Crystal Palace stuck with the manager, and the rest is history, as they say. You know, they stuck by the manager. But moving on, let's talk Tottenham, because was it Simple or somebody was in before?
Simply, yeah.
Simply, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, anything about coming third in a 2-horse race. Simply, I wouldn't lower myself to mention that. But what I mean, I laughed at Chelsea when they sacked Roberto Di Matteo because he won them the Champions League, and then they sacked him within a 2 or 3 months. And Tottenham, look, they were awful last season. Had Tottenham and Manchester United not had probably three of the worst teams in Premier League history, Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton under them, we could have been seeing one of those down. Now, I want Southampton to actually, not Southampton, I want Spurs to actually go on and win the Champions League. Because I think it would be great that a team that finished one place off the relegation zone are champions of Europe. That would just go up to, you know, UEFA and go, fuck off, you know. This is a stupid, stupid thing. What I don't know. I mean, Tottenham, they're just like and no disrespect, Simply, no disrespect. Exactly, Simply, it totally is. But do Tottenham, are they expecting? I mean, they say, look, I'm not picking on you Simply here, but I was having this discussion not so long ago. That is Tottenham as big a club as people say it is, or if the fans say it is. How many times have Tottenham won the league in their history? 3. We've won it once. I think it's 3. Simply will obviously correct me. Are they as big a club as they think they are? I mean, Arsenal, their fans are very entitled. And worse this season, bloody hell. You know, Arsenal, but they've got the history again of winning things.
Yeah.
Are Tottenham expecting too much?
I think Tottenham need a similar to, I think they need a period to reflect on a lot of things. Big Ange was the wrong appointment. I always said that from the get-go, but it seems the players absolutely adored him, even though the results weren't the best.
But he won the Europa League.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like it swings and roundabouts that, you know, managers in those sort of clubs do not get time. Thomas Frank is a brilliant manager. I have no doubt about it. That if he has the right people around him, he is a fantastic manager built on stats. Whether that works for a club like Tottenham, I don't know. You know, I go back to the game a couple of weeks ago when you had 2 of the Tottenham players just walk off the pitch. Frank saying to him, go and say, you know, thank you to the travelling support. Or it might not have even been travelling support, but just go say thank you to the fans. And they walked off. So maybe it's a case of you're not dealing with just players, you're dealing with egos. People that seem to think I'm coming in here with a Billy Big Bollocks attitude. And I don't know whether Simply agrees with that or not, but I think at clubs now, there's a lot of players that come to the clubs because they think, oh, well, guess what? I'm at Spurs. So shoulders back and just, you know, walk with a bit of a limp. Not a good one. You need to be knocked down off your pedestal a little bit. You know, I said it about Forest, when everyone was raving about Nuno. They went for someone like Ange and attacking football. It didn't work. They went for Dash, who's defensive, similar to Nuno, just not a foreign name, and it seems to be working for him. So
I've got to say simply, it's a pleasure, and I'm not having a go at Tottenham, because you know, nothing against Tottenham other than obviously, we had a bit of rivalry that season. But he's saying we are not a massive club, far from it. The manager since Posh do not play to our squad strengths. Our players' ceiling is 7th to 10th, not good at all. I mean, just looking here, Manchester United, 20 league titles.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool, 20. Sorry about this, simply. Arsenal, 13. City, 10. Everton, 9. And I can go on and on and on. Blackburn, sorry, mate, 3. Wolves 3. Burnley, 2.
Hey.
Tottenham Hotspur, 2. Preston, Derby, Portsmouth, 2. So Huddersfield Town have won 3. And look, Leeds United, and they think they're this fucking massive club. They've only won it 3 times. I just but look, what's he called's gone? Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how things turn out now he's gone, because sometimes when somebody goes, you're thinking, shit, maybe he wasn't as bad as we thought he was.
Yeah, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, do you? And it's sort of, you've got to sometimes take the rough with the smooth.
Yeah. Interesting. Like I say, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday won it 4 times. Huddersfield 3. And then right at the bottom of the list, Leicester City. We've won it once and never to be done again. But by that, I mean, you're mid-table, simply. You are sat in 11th with 22 points, but 6 wins, 6 losses. I think the whole Big Six, I mean, there was that famous story after Leicester won the Premier League that thank you, simply. That's very kind of you to say. You did kind of explode at the end. You should have finished second, but you did kind of explode at Chelsea, didn't you? When we won the Premier League, there was a meeting of the chairman of all the top big clubs, allegedly. Now, this was in the Independent, not of the Premier League, but of the clubs. And the Manchester City guy said, we're not going to let this happen again, are we? Obviously, I mean, it's in the paper, it's reported. I can only go off that. But what I think is happening now is we're seeing a seismic shift when it comes to the Premier League. Yes, you've still got your big clubs. Look, your top 5, you've still got 3 of the big 6 in there, Arsenal, City and Chelsea. You could argue that Villa, maybe they should be up or, there or at least at the second table. But Palace are up there. They're in 5th. Sunderland are in 8th. Brighton in 10th. Bournemouth up until recently were up there. And I just think we are seeing a move where the other clubs are getting better and the bigger clubs are maybe just kind of standing still a little bit.
Seems to be the case. It's a topsy-turvy division this year. I'm just I'm looking at the table myself, and it's just it's mad.
You got 4 legs.
I had to think then. I really did have to think. Sometimes I have to look past the idiocracy, Chris. I have to look past the idiocracy sometimes and go, is he serious?
You thinking, you see, that's where it all goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly. When things leave your mouth, there shouldn't even be any thinking. You should just go, right, well, this is either bollocks or it's cracking jokes.
Usually is, in fairness.
But no, like I say, the table from, like I said, down from 15th, it's still very open up until 4th. There's 8 points gap. All it's teams in and around there are all beating each other.
Same in the Championship as well, as
Yeah.
you can see from the prediction lead. But,
Going for
when
that late
you...
surge, Chris.
Yeah,
Second half of the season on the up.
yeah, I wish. But it gets me like, as fans, we do have short memories. And I keep saying this about Man United. What I hate about Man United, they were so successful, and we've got to give it to them, they were under Alex Ferguson. But since Alex Ferguson left, they're shit. They're an average team. They're no better than, no disrespect, a Newcastle, a Tottenham, a Fulham. They're in that category now. But because they had that success, they think they deserve it.
Yeah, you can't build on one man's legacy.
No. They tried to do it at Liverpool. Liverpool, before Man United had Ferguson, Liverpool were dominant. They had Shankly, they had Paisley, they had Evans, they had that boot room of managers coming through, and they ruled it. Then they tried a different tact and it didn't work. Man United came along. It took Liverpool 23, 24 seasons to win another trophy.
Yeah.
Man United have got to accept, just because they're Man United, they're not necessarily going to have, the success. But look, let's ask the question, because it is tight at the top. Are Arsenal going to bottle it again?
Yeah, I sort of.
We'll give Simply something to smile about.
I sort of wouldn't mind someone like Villa doing it. Just going quietly about their business. Someone different. I think Emery's done a really good job there, getting a tune out of them. It would be nice to see probably Arsenal do it. We're always obviously seeing people say, Arteta's been the bridesmaid and whatever. But again, if City win it, it fills Sky Sports with stuff, doesn't it? Because they'll be like, oh, Pep's put this wonderful new team together of this bulk of new young players, and now look at how Manchester City is. Stop with the wank fest. I can't be arsed, right? Pep's ruined football with this stupid tiki-taka bullshit. Yeah. I'm not happy with it. But Manchester City, look at the new players they've got. Piss off. I don't care. I'd rather have someone like Villa do it. You know what? Fuck it. Chuck in Palace as well while they're there. Don't mind them doing it.
I'd love to see, I'm not one of these that says, no, I never want to see another team do what we did. I'd love to see it. I don't care who it is, as long as it's not one of the big six.
No.
And I know, Tottenham's in there. And I know they've got the big six because they're the six teams that have the most viewers, and that's what they want. Leicester Burnley's not going to attract the same number of viewers as Liverpool Man United, let's be honest. But I do want to see. Last season I'd have been very happy had Nottingham Forest got into the Champions League. But I'm going to move on to Leicester now, because I had a very interesting conversation in a bar in Lanzarote. Sat at the table next to us was a Nottingham Forest fan.
Oh,
I know. Now, being the nice sort of person I was, I went to his table and I said, Leicester City fan here in peace, because he looked at me. I went, in peace. I said, I just want to say, well done tonight, because they'd won in Europe 3-1 or something, I think it was. And we got talking, and, to me, this is what football should be like. A bit of banter, but, a bit of having a dig at each other's teams. But generally speaking, not. He said straight away, he said, look, if you're going to start having a go at Nottingham Forest, I'm not interested. I said, no, I want to have a discussion with you. And I was sat there for about 20, 30 minutes. My mate was sat on his own. I forgot about him. But we did have this conversation. Now, he said, whose was the biggest success? Leicester winning the Premier League or Nottingham Forest winning League One? Now, Nottingham Forest had come up and won it the first season they were up. Leicester did have a season where we nearly got relegated and then went on to win it. But when I was arguing with him, he said, yes, but look what we went on and did. Now, there's no argument here. If you look at what, because they went on and won the European Cup twice.
Yeah.
And as he said, yes, we got through to the quarterfinals, but look who we were playing. We did have an easiest draw, to be honest with you. You know, in them days, Nottingham Forest, their first game was against Liverpool, who were holders. You know, they were up against champions. I mean, the Champions League now, and again, I'm not going to go at Simply, but you know, you've got people finishing 17th in the Champions League. It's not champions. You know what I mean? Where when Forest won it, it was champions. And so I said, I will grant, if you include in the legacy that followed on from it, Forest was up here and Leicester were down here, definitely. But on the actual winning the Premier League, I've got to go for Leicester because, as your very famous friend Scott Parker said on the night we won it, it's a different ball game these days. It's not such a level playing field. But I'm going to ask you, forgetting the European side, because I'm giving that to Forest. What they went on to achieve was brilliant, amazing, well done to them. But just on the title winning, whose was the better achievement? Just remember
Leicester.
what channel you're on.
No, Leicester's, because like I say, back then, football was a lot different. Ever since things get hard, as football has evolved, it's got harder for clubs like Burnley and Leicester.
Yeah,
to try and do that, to try and compete and be up there. Like I'm still very happy that I've managed to see Burnley qualify for Europe.
yeah,
I'm happy. I'm happy I've seen that. But to have the season you had prior staring at the exit door,
yeah,
to then go on and absolutely storm the division was just, it's nothing short of remarkable. It's a quick turnaround.
yeah.
And you managed to achieve that. Fair enough, you know, fair play to Ranieri and what he did. You know, he didn't really get that look at Chelsea, but he had to turn to a proper team in blue, didn't he, Chris? And he managed to get his reward.
I mean, again, simply said there, did they spend only a few million? We did. I mean, Kasper Schmeichel was saying the other day on a podcast, he said they were the best pub team in world football because there was a ragtail and collection. And you can look at, you know, Spurs imploded, Arsenal were having the normal, let's try and finish fourth season. Liverpool had only just got Klopp in, so they were still settling. Manchester City came out and said that Pellegrini was leaving at the end of the season, which is always a stupid thing to do because players just give up. But you've still got to win it at the end of the day. We only lost 3 games that season. When you think about it, 2 of those were to Arsenal, I grant you. But I think it is. I don't think the money was around then, and I think it was harder to do. I'm not saying that you know Nottingham Forest wasn't an achievement. Yes, it was, but I do. Cheers, then, Blue. Thanks very much, mate. Take care. Yeah, I think. I think ours was the bigger achievement just on the Premier League itself.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'll give you that.
Yeah, from you know being bottom on Christmas Day to 12 months later being the Christmas number 1.
Don't get much further than that, does it?
It doesn't. Right, I want to talk the World Cup with you, because I mean I would love if this channel was bigger and it had like 1 million followers or whatever, to start something up saying nobody should go to the opening game of the World Cup. No fan, just leave it to the big wigs and what have you. You know, Infantino can stick his cock up Donald Trump's arse, behind the scenes, do whatever he wants to, and he probably then could give him another prize. But the prices, and I know they've now come out and said, look, we're going to offer some cheaper tickets, 45, 60 quid tickets. But some of the cheaper games were, I think, 700 quid for a ticket.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It just prices out the fans. The whole point of this sport was teams are supported by fans. These football teams do not generate income without fans in there.
Yeah.
It's only because Sky and other TV channels during the pandemic decided to put the games on telly that money still rejuvenated through the division. If that didn't happen, football would have took a massive hit.
Yes.
I look back at Burnley. We were part of a crisis when we got, we lost money from, I think it was RTV.
Yeah.
We had a deal back in the day. We lost money from that, and that really hit us hard.
Digital, wasn't it?
Yeah, that really hit us from a cost perspective. So they need to remember that. Okay, fans coming into the stadium doesn't really dent the club's coffers. Really, bums on seats doesn't. However, is the game of football loved without bums on seats? Sorry, no.
I remember during COVID, all I heard was, "Oh, it's not the same without fans. Oh, look at the fact we need to get fans back."
But they had to create fake noise just because people didn't like it.
I didn't. I did not like the training ground atmosphere. I wanted to hear that. And then, obviously, the first game where they had, fans there was the FA Cup that year, which obviously went on and built Chelsea. It is.
Well
it
said,
is
simply well
simply.
said.
It is. But they don't seem to give a shit about the fans.
No. They don't care. It's all about lining the pockets, and that's what pisses me off in football. That's what pisses me off, because it shouldn't be about that. Why aren't we not going back to the bit? You know what? Look at the money in football. Young players, young 18-year-olds used to have to clean the first team players' boots.
Yeah.
And earn their way up. Now they're 18, 19-year-old. They've never kicked a ball in the first team. They're swanning around in a Range Rover. They've seen, they've been drink driving. They're out. They've already made a shit name for themselves, and they've done fuck all on a football pitch. But yet, that's what writes the headlines. That's what gives us talking points. Let's chuck VAR into the game so we can add another TV show to talk about how shit VAR's been this week, and then even though this VAR is meant to sort everything out. No, It's not. You're thinking about, you might as well go back to sticking us in a coliseum and us all flaming, throwing rotten tomatoes and watching people get flaming, speared and all sorts of shit. Like, be honest to God, what is the point? What is the point? Football without fans is nothing. No. Absolutely.
FIFA, it says here, I'm sorry, it wasn't $60, it was $60, which is £45. FIFA introduced a small number of more affordable £45 tickets for all 104 matches at the World Cup. World Football's governing body says the new ticket price will be available to a certain number of loyal fans of the countries that are qualified for the World Cup. You're probably going to have to buy tickets with your passport now to prove where you're from. A FIFA official close to the discussion said, "We have listened to feedback, and this new category is the right thing to do," adding the decision was unanimous. Interesting here, and I'm going to talk Keir Starmer here, so don't let me lose you. I'm not going to get political, but I don't often agree with him. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer welcomed the announcement, but added, "As someone who used to save up for England tickets, I encourage FIFA to do more to make tickets more affordable so that the World Cup doesn't lose touch with the genuine supporters who make the game so special." I have to say, I don't agree with anything the guy says, but I agree with what he said there. Well said, Keir. Under the previous pricing structure, which the Football Supporters Association called scandalous, it would have cost a fan more than £5,000 to follow England at every match to the final. The £45 ticket falls into the supporter entry tier, the lowest price category, and will make up 10% of the allocation for each football association whose team is taking part in a competition being hosted by Canada, Mexico, and the USL. Hey, for England and Scotland, this will mean about 400 tickets will be available for £45 for their group matches. 400 tickets in 60,000 seater stadium. It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Something needs to be done about it. It's filling the fat cat's back pockets. They don't give a shit. They never have given a shit. I don't get this. Going back to what you said, they had a consultation period with who? Themselves. They shook hands and just went, how can we make more money from this? Do you not realize you're already making enough money by taking bribes from countries, allegedly, for these World Cups? Found that a little bit funny. There's already money in your back pocket, so why are you also hitting the fans as well?
Have you noticed any change? Have you noticed any change?
Flights are going to cost cheaper than your fucking match ticket.
Yeah. Oh, agree. Have you noticed any difference since Infantino has taken over from Blatter?
No,
exactly.
No, it's the same corrupt bullshit, just different frontman.
I tell you what, those tickets will be right up in the gods with the worst views. Football, any sport where you rely on supporters needs to look after the supporters.
My two mates, Chris. They've.
What, you've got two mates?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jesus
and
Christ.
You're both of them, Chris. Bastard. But no, they've been going to England games, and they went to the last World Cup, Euros, and the last World Cup, and they boycotted this one. They said, "I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, but I just don't. I'm not paying astronomical prices."
No.
He said, "Yeah, I've spent a couple of grand while they're out there, because obviously you've got your living, your hotels, you're having to change, for different areas. But this is 3 different, countries, and not just in these countries. America in itself, you have to fly pretty much to every different state.
Yeah,
it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous." They've not really put any structure to it, thinking, all right, well, one group stage game is going to be here. We'll put the next one close by. No, it's not like that. They've not even thought about it. It's just fuck the fans. Fuck everybody.
Now, the first one is in Dallas, in Texas,
Yep.
when we play Croatia. The second one is in Boston, which is, so you've gone from the south of the country to the north of the country. And all right, after that, it's New York, New Jersey for Panama. So that's not too bad. But like you say, the Americans do use the plane like we use the buses, in fairness.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd think like, well, let's keep, all of England, let's give all of group, whatever we're in, all of Group E games, right? Let's keep it all in the Boston area. New York, fine, because that'd be like going maybe from Wembley to Scotland, to Hampton Park or something. But
yeah,
let's do it like that, and let's keep all Brazil's games all in the same area. I mean, I was reading that Canada and Mexico have actually been given more influence in this World Cup than America, because they've been better up with keeping up with the stadium, buildings and all that, this, that, and the other. And then, of course, you see, what was that fucking award? A peace award? What the fuck? Just tell me something here. Infantino, if you're watching this, if you're not jerking off over some pictures of, Trump and Epstein, allegedly, let me just say allegedly there, but what have you got to do with fucking world peace? You're a fucking football nation.
He's seen him sat on a sofa with buddy, who is it from Ukraine, and Flaming thought, oh, right, well, this guy's trying to sort it out. This guy doesn't want us to go to war. This guy wants peace. He wants harmony. He wants to bring tranquility to the world. No, he don't. He wants your money. They all want your money. Infantino wants your money. He's got enough stuff in his back pocket and rolled up his crack in case he's got a bribe that he has to pay for, allegedly. But he's again, the money is there. They've got the money. Why do they need to try and force it out of it? This is just like fucking, what is it? Bloody Red Nose Day. You know? Oh, please give us something. What about the fact that we can't even afford to put clothes on our own back, or it's nearly 100 quid minimum for a week's shop?
Yeah.
And yet more money's going up in the world. You know, like I say, it gets political and whatever, but it gets to a point where they need to realise they're pricing people out, and yet it's the fans that make it.
FIFA, just stick to fucking football.
Yeah.
A peace fucking prize. And
Not
did you see that
Eurovision.
trophy for the Club World Cup?
Yeah.
You couldn't lift that above your head. You do your back in. It was massive, wasn't it? Gust of wind and you'd have been out the stadium. I mean, it was a joke. And I'm sorry, I would absolutely love it, as Kevin Keegan said. I'd love it, if nobody turned up for the opening game.
Yeah.
And we just sat there with an opening game. And look, they're not even bothered about the sponsors. Qatar.
Chris, the game's not even going to be played for about fucking 14 hours because they're going to be doing some stupid light show or stupid show beforehand that needs to be done, you know, like they did. Oh, yeah, sorry, the group stages. We're going to find out how the groups are at 5 o'clock. I was having my supper before I found out who England's first game were.
Somebody did post, am I watching Eurovision? You know? Just play with your balls and grab them out the pocket and give the number on it.
That's another thing that bugged me. They all had a pot. USA, Canada, and Mexico with about 6 or 7 balls in, but they knew which the right ball to pick was that had their own country in. But it's all done at random, and it's all woohoo. Yeah, all right then.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly about that. Infantino's a dick.
Interestingly, and I've been shouting about this for years, because I think qualification for the World Cup and the Euros is a fucking joke. I have not watched or done a watch along or of any of England's qualifying games. Because I tell you what, if we can't beat fucking Latvia, then we don't deserve to go. Oh, you know, England have qualified, played 10, won 10, not conceded or only conceded a 1 goal or whatever it is. So fucking what? Look at the opposition we were playing. Years ago, I remember we were having to go to Italy and beat, or we got a draw, which meant we went to the World Cup. Look, when we had to knock Germany out with Beckham's goal at Old Trafford in the 94th minute, whatever it was, with the free kick. I don't want to see us play all these. But in fairness, the FA have come out and said, we need to look at something with the qualification. It is boring. And like Tuchel said, get behind the team. I can't get behind the team when we're playing shit teams like Estonia, but no disrespect to them, or San Marino.
Shit, man. Shit.
It is.
The thing is, it's one of those we could rant about and nothing will change. The fat cats get fatter, and I totally agree with you. Boycott the first game.
Yes, yeah.
That's another thing. Sorry, I had to what Simply said there. Stop doing all this, or they're seeded. Stick everybody in one massive fucking pot.
Yes.
Pick them out. Why do you have to fear? Why do you want it to be? Oh no, I want it to be Argentina against Holland. I want it to be Portugal coming up against England in the final, etc. No, I'd love it. Like if somebody like I don't know, Tunisia, Flaming get there, you know, to quarters and stuff like that. They're not going to get sniffed at. They're not going to get sniffed at. It's stupid. You're just favouring the big countries. And yet, look at our countries. Our country's shit.
Yeah, people say as well that, San Marino playing England at Wembley, that's the world to them. Well, getting stuffed 10-0. Is that the world to them? Stick all them in their own group and let one of them qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They might get beaten, but at least they're at a World fucking Cup. I mean, it's geared that they want the big clubs there to say, "Oh, look, we could talk about this for till the cows come home."
Yeah.
And I'm expecting AI in any minute, so I better get on. Interestingly, again, I'm going to say this: I actually prefer to watch England women than England men, and don't get dirty or anything like that.
No. I'm not misogynistic.
No. When Chloe Kelly ripped the top off when she scored the winning goal, I just wish she'd stuck a label up in a bra and it wasn't flapping about everywhere. But it is more exciting because you don't know, you're thinking like, oh, Holland, they're a good team. And then it's not because it's Holland women, not the men.
Yeah.
But when you look now at the women's team, and yes, I know they were trying to get it going and get involved. Every player virtually, I'm on TikTok and I follow everything football, and I see so many TikTok channels for women's football. And then you've got Alessia Russo's got one, Ella Toon's got one, Grace Clinton's got one, Fran Kirby's got one. Ex-players they've got, and then they're doing the podcasts. It's Ella and Alessia Russo and all that. And I'm thinking, like, well, when do you get time to play football?
Yeah.
And now the men are starting to do it. Apparently, they're getting their own. Should players have their own YouTube channels? Is the thing I'm asking.
See, it started, didn't it, with footballers just doing a bit of gaming online, like kids, just
Right.
etc., and doing these odd bits. But then it got into them speaking about stuff. I don't know if that breaks into a free speech sort of thing, because the way social media is nowadays, fans aren't allowed to say this, that, and the other. But then you've got Mo Salah coming out and calling his manager out on live television. So I don't know. It's a catch-22. I can understand if that's something you go into after football, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a short career being a footballer, and I think a lot of people, with the way the world is now everything's turned into online, isn't it? I just wish that your channel and my channel took off as much as theirs, Chris, because we've been doing it a lot bloody longer.
Well, you're no Erling Haaland, and I'm no Abdul Fatawu. So
I'll be Haaland tomorrow, mate. I'm going to Manchester. There's a butty shop in Manchester that serves a sandwich called the Haaland, and it is incredible. It's worth travelling to Manchester for a £14 sandwich. It is actually amazing.
It costs £14.
Yes, £14.90. If you go between a certain time, you can get it for £10 something with a drink and like a meal deal. But it is absolutely incredible.
Is it just like a square sandwich cut into triangles, or is it a big long?
No, it's like a biggish piece of focaccia bread sliced open. You got rocket, ham, truffle oil, burrata cheese, pistachios. It's everything that you think, and then you eat it. And honestly, it was just, it's one of those things where every time I go to Manchester now, it's like, I'm going to go and get one of them sandwiches.
Are you getting a hard on just thinking about a sandwich here?
I can't wait to go buy one tomorrow, honestly. I really can't.
Well, enjoy it.
It's called Haaland, by the way, because he went there and ordered 9 of them. Wow. So they named it after him because it was his creation that he made, and it seems to be very, very popular.
Well, he didn't make it; he just went in and bought him.
No. You can go in and you can make your own sandwich. So you ask what you want on it, and he made it. So they said, they made their own version after he'd bought them, tasted it, and thought that's actually really good. Maybe we should put that on the menu. So they reached out to him and said, look, we want to name the sandwich the Haaland. Is that fine? And he's like, go for it. So
Anyway, welcome along to Can't Cook, Won't Cook with Ainsley Harriet. How are you doing, everybody? Right, let's go back to talking about Erling Haaland. Vlogs, training, and behind the scenes. Football players are increasingly sharing insights into their lives on video platform YouTube. I think this includes TikTok as well. Manchester City and Norway striker Erling Haaland is one of the highest profile footballers to join the platform. His latest video involved dressing up as Santa and surprising young fans with presents. The content is a shift from traditional media telling the stories to the athletes creating and owning their narratives and personal brands beyond the goals and stats. Video blogs, known as vlogs, are long-form video content which share the daily lives, experiences, and lifestyles of a creator in a personal way to create a direct relationship with the audience. Haaland 25 started his channel in October 25, obviously a few months ago, and has since gained more than 1 million followers. As he shares insights into his life, including training at Man City and Norway's World Cup qualification. His first video, titled Day in the Life of a Pro Footballer, which showed him cook his own meals and share personal stories, have brought in nearly 8 million views. Like I say, if you follow women's football, this isn't a surprise to you because they're all over it. They really are. And, again, when they get together for England, they seem to be spending more time doing, ping pong challenges and what have you for TikTok than they do actually training football. I mean, I can remember because of course, I'm sure all clubs do this, but Leicester actually, their players go out to local hospitals over Christmas and give out presents.
Yeah.
And that video would be up on the club's website and the club's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Should players be doing this at this stage, or should they say, look, concentrate on the fucking football and consider doing this when you retire?
I mean, like I said, it's the way of the world now. Everything's online. Social media is massive. Players like Erling Haaland, I suppose you can let do it because he's going to turn up and do the business for you. If he weren't, then I'd say, look, maybe other things are curtailing what your actual job is, which is to perform on the field, not over a camera. But then again, I think people nowadays like to get a behind the scenes of, what players are like. We're in a generation now where we're all a little bit of a nosy bastard.
We are,
and we all want to know what's going on. That's why I'm saying when people are arguing at Burnley at the minute, is it the boardroom? Is it this? Is it people like me on the fan advisory board that are being shits? But it's not. It's like, why are, everybody's looking for a scapegoat. Everybody's looking for someone to pick at. I don't know. For me, if it's affecting your performances on the pitch, no, you shouldn't be doing it. But if you're turning up week in, week out and doing the business, and then
I suppose in fairness, years ago, because training's not full day, is it? They fuck off at 2:00, and
yeah.
A bit years ago, they were down a smoky snooker hall drinking beer and having fags. So I suppose they're doing that now. But it's very true. I mean, when you look at I know newspapers don't sell like they used to. And I spent a lot of time working in newspapers. But, the best-selling ones, News of the World, Sun, Mirror, they're all the scandal sheets. Because that's what people want to read. And we want to read and say, oh, what do they actually do at the football? So yeah, I kind of get it. I guess. Yeah. Now, do you remember
the 21st night of September?
Love that song. Better the way they sing it though than you. I'm sorry, mate. I think it was the first show we did, and we did a section on a certain Mr. Rogers. And his walking out on Celtic, and I'm going like everything that guy was saying about Celtic. I went, yep, Yep, that was at Leicester. Yep, that was at Leicester. He's gone off to Saudi Pro League side Al Qadash. I mean, is this
New Gucci belt for Brendan?
exactly what everybody is saying? I mean, it's a bit of a cop out, really, because to me, it's like footballers. I mean, I know Suarez has just signed a new deal with Inter Miami, and this is the thing with American football is that it's like a retirement home for professional footballers, and Saudi Arabia is becoming that way as well. They don't care who they're sort of getting over there; they just want the names, if you like. And I suppose look at the history he's got at Celtic. He has won a lot of trophies with the club. He won the FA Cup with Leicester. He left Celtic in October, it says, after guiding the Scottish Giants to back-to-back league titles during his second spell. His exit from the Glasgow club was marked by controversy. But the Al Qadisha chief executive, James Bisgrave, a very typical Saudi name there, who previously held the same role with Rangers, told club media the arrival of Rodgers was a landmark moment, adding the calibre of his experience and track record of winning reflects our ambition and long-term vision to establish Al Qadish as one of Asia's leading clubs. I mean, it is bollocks, isn't it, really? I mean, look what Steven Gerrard, he did fuck all when he went over there.
Well, yeah. It's true. They don't do all. They go over there. They're inheriting a team that, playing to crowds of about 6,000.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know, mate. It's farcical. It's all about money. Can you remember a couple of years ago? It was the Japanese league, weren't it, or Chinese league? Drogba went over there.
Yeah.
A lot of Chelsea went over there. I think there were Drogba and Elga Ramirez. Who was that other guy they had in midfield? Oscar. Players just went over there willingly. I think even Iniesta went over there as well from Barcelona. We had a spell in Turkey that Angie Al-Mahali or something. They had Roberto Carlos playing left back, and it was just like, seriously. I don't blame players for doing it because players like I got something stuck then. But
as long as it's not a pubic hair, we're all right.
No, players like Josh Brownhill turning down a new deal at Burnley, thinking, right, well, I've just been offered a 2-year contract out in Saudi. By the time I come back, I'm 31. I'm probably still going to get a decent move, and yet I'm probably set for life.
No, I can understand them going, but I look at it and hi Anthony, how you doing? I just think it's like the graveyard of players and managers.
Yeah,
they go there because they know because they've got some experience. And Josh Brownhill, who obviously was linked with Leicester, it was Brownhill, wasn't it? Yeah. They're going to get money because this is a short career. Totally understand that. But it is like, oh, come on. It's not proper football, is it? I mean, look at Ronaldo. I mean, for fuck's sake. Oh, he's won all these awards. They are worthless. Absolutely not worth the writing the ink in the book.
Like Trump with the Peace Awards.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Say piss award then. But look, simply just said he thought Spurs would take him. You do not want him, and he was linked with Spurs when he was doing well at Leicester.
Scott Parker's going to be available soon, simply, and he's got ties to Spurs. You never know.
Yeah, I just think it's like if he ends up getting sacked from the club in because they're going to expect him to go in. The side is sitting 5th in the league after 9 games. I don't know how many teams are in the league, probably 6. But if he gets sacked, then it's the end of I can't see where they come back. I mean, Gerrard went over, made all his money. What's he doing now? Living off it.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
I don't think Simply is very happy with what you said. Right, we're gonna wind this up now because the other night Manchester United played Bournemouth
Mm.
and it ended 4-4. Now, apparently, and I didn't see the game, but apparently it was an amazing game. One of the best games that the Premier League has ever seen. This is what the BBC. Well, I know this is the BBC. Where does Old Trafford Thriller rank amongst best Premier League games? These are the games that the BBC have come up with as being the best. Some of them, I have to say, yes. Others, well, let's have a look. 3rd of April, 1996. Liverpool 4, Newcastle United 3. That was a classic, wasn't it? I think that was the one where, yeah, it is, I've just seen the picture here. Keegan just slumped behind the advertising hoarding. I mean, I think Collymore scored the winner, didn't he? And that was the season when Newcastle were 10 points clear at the top and they blew it. That was a good game, wasn't it? You may say if you've not seen, if you don't remember.
Mate, I've stayed up till 3 o'clock many a time watching Premier League years on repeat.
Yeah.
They were good times.
Yeah.
Good game.
The Aguero game, Manchester City 3, QPR 2 on the 13th of May 2012. And I'm going to say I love that because it stopped Man United celebrating.
Yeah, but it's only there because of the drama. That's the only reason why it was a good game. If that had nothing in conspiracy to a last-minute goal that changed Man City's fortunes for the future, we wouldn't have been talking about it at all. It wouldn't have been up there whatsoever. QPR threw the towel in. They knew they'd already done enough to stay up. They already knew they'd done enough to stay up because the fans were already telling them, radios and etc. That's it. The other teams lost. Anything here, it doesn't matter. We're staying in the division. So they didn't give a shit. Aguero got that moment, but yeah, I do agree. It was funny seeing Sir Alex stood there on Stoke City Stadium, like walking around, like, "Oh, are we done? Is this it? Have we got the points? Like, we've won it?" Yeah, we're.
Yeah,
mad.
Anthony says, "I remember that game. It was a good game, Anthony. It certainly was." And I don't remember this one. 21st of April 2009. Liverpool 4, Arsenal 4.
Anthony, mate. But
I don't. Apparently, Andre Arshavin
yes, he got an hat trick, didn't he?
An individual display, netting all 4 goals for the Gunners to deliver a blow to Liverpool's title ambitions.
Yeah, I do remember that because Arshavin was like walking away, and he's like he was in shock that he'd scored all 4. Yeah, it worked. That I do remember that game now that you mentioned that. That was a good game, to be fair.
Was he one of the biggest disappointments ever in... Yeah, we just said that, Anthony. State the bleeding obvious. In fact, Anthony is going to be the first recipient of one of these in these shows. I've just got to find it, but this is for you, Anthony.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Just said it, didn't I? Sorry, Anthony, mate. Yeah, it was a show of he was going to be the new Wonder Kid, wasn't he? And he kind of had a decent off season, and then he kind of just disappeared, didn't he? He was never as good.
Yeah, I actually quite liked him when he first came in, but again, players seem to drop off. I don't know whether it was because Wenger was trying to change something, but I don't know. Like I say, we're talking back end of Wenger's reign here, so it weren't really a good time at Arsenal in those dying couple of seasons.
Talking about Arsenal, the 5th of February 2011, Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4. Now, this was a good game because Arsenal were 4-0 up and cruising at half time as they were trying to chase Man United down. Abu Diaby was then sent off for the Gunners. Newcastle fans walking out, and this is one of these classics. If you leave early, and Newcastle came back and got 4-4. That again, I've got to say, was an amazing game. Because going down doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win it.
I'm trying to think. Is that the game where like Demba Ba and Papi Cisse got 2 each?
No, checked Teotis thumping
yeah.
in it, strike clinching the point. Yeah.
Teotis, God rest his soul. He's gone now, hasn't he? Passed away.
Yeah, and that was it. I celebrated that draw. We got a Spurs Arsenal battle going on in the chat here. Newcastle 5, Man United 0. 20th of October 19.
Newcastle fucking crop up a lot in this, don't they?
Yeah, with Manchester United having beaten Newcastle in the title the previous season, this felt like payback for Kevin Keegan and his players, who also had suffered a 4-0 reverse at Wembley in the Charity Shield just weeks earlier. And they were presuming Man United must have done the double then. They are cropping up a lot, but beating. I mean, I think beating Man United 5-0 when you've got Fergie in charge is quite. Now, interestingly, we have another Manchester United game here, and this was a 5-3. Not that 5-3. Tottenham 3, Man United 5, 29th September 2001. Manchester United staged a magnificent comeback from 3-0 down. Again, fair enough on that one. Man United 4, Manchester City 3, September 2009. Michael Owen's winner. Didn't score many for Man United, did he? I mean, going from Liverpool to Man United. Leeds are going to crop up now. Leeds 4, Liverpool 3, 4th of November 2000. And then who can forget Crystal Palace 3, Liverpool 3, 5th of May 2014. Arsenal 3, Man United 2, 9th of November 1997. Everton 3, Wimbledon 2, May 1994. Sorry, Anthony, Arsenal 2, Man United 4, 1st of February 2005. Man United versus Bournemouth, obviously this one's just gone. And then Chelsea 2, Tottenham 2, sorry, simply, 2nd of May 2016, which handed the title to Leicester City, which we would have gone on to win at the next week anyway because we beat Everton 4-1. So we were always going to win it, but we appreciate what you did for us. Eden Hazard, the season before, had scored the winner to win the title for Chelsea, and that season scored the winner scored the equaliser, for Chelsea, which handed us the title. I'm going to say though, look, I'm looking at some of those games. I know I'm looking at it through blue tinted glasses here, but the Leicester 5, Man United 3, when we first got promoted, Louis van Gaal's Red and White Army, Ryan Giggs as assistant manager, 2-0 up, they went, Man United, hit back immediately with Ujoa's bullet header 2-1. Then it went to 3-1 in the second half. Then we got back to 3-2, 3-3. I mean, what a game that was. And yes, I am biased, I'm going to say. But and the other one, of course, was at Filbert Street, Leicester City 3, Arsenal 3. And it was 2-1 to Arsenal in the 91st minute. Cheers, Simply. Thank you very much. Very kind words. Brilliant, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody's always welcome. We don't mind what team you support. It's all about the football community on all our shows, which is why we let an Arsenal fan in. No, thank you, Simply. Lovely to see you, mate. That was, I've got to say, Bergkamp got a hat-trick. and Bergkamp actually did. I think it was Jerry Taggart. He had his back to Jerry Taggart. He got the ball. He flicked it up and over Taggart's head behind him. Turned Taggart, went in and scored. And then we got 2 late goals, and it was 3-3. And at the end of the match, we thought we were going to have a boxing match between Ian Wright and Steve Walsh, because all I could do was see Steve Walsh mouthed into Ian Wright. Come on, then, come on, let's have sort of thing. But I mean, like you say, some of those games, I don't remember them. I mean, Everton 3, Wimbledon 2.
No.
Everton were only one of 6 sides that have never been relegated from the Premier League, but they were on the brink at 2-0 down to Wimbledon in the first 20 minutes. Ooh.
Anthony's a dick.
Well, he was there, like he says. He was there. Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah. But I mean, obviously, it's funny that every Arsenal, every game that featured Arsenal, they either lost or they could only draw. There wasn't one game in that list where Arsenal actually won anything. And I've got to say, I mean, you're calling Anthony a dick. Dicks are useful.
True.
Indeed. Love you, Anthony. Mate, I think we should call it a night.
I'll just say, if I had to give a Burnley one for a decent score,
oh yeah, please do. Sorry, mate.
It would have been. Funnily enough, it wasn't one that we won. But I'd say 2009. We went on a capital punishment run in the Carling Cup, as it was then. Beat Chelsea on penalties. Beat Arsenal 2-0 at the Turf. Fuck off, Anthony. And then, we had Spurs in the semi-finals and got beat 4-1 at their place in the opening game. And that we just thought, right, well, that's it. That's us out. Replay at the Turf. Won 3-0 after 90 minutes. So we thought, right, brilliant. We go through on the away goal because we got one at their place. No, the only year that they stopped it. They stopped the away goal rule. We had to play extra time. Jermaine Defoe and Pavlyuchenko scored in extra time and killed us off. But the players, I just remember, it was one of the first games I probably cried at because I thought we'd done it. I thought at 90 minutes, I thought we'd done it. And then obviously when, I think, to be fair, Defoe and Pavlyuchenko scored with 2 minutes left of extra time as well.
I can say this now because Simply's gone. I hate Tottenham for scoring late goals. It was 1-1 in the 93rd minute against Tottenham once, and we lost 3-1. I know. Work that one out. I've got to say that the other match, of course, that I would put in there, being totally biased as a Leicester fan, was against another one of Anthony's teams, and that was Southampton 0, Leicester 9. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. Daniel-san, thank you very much indeed. Really enjoyed that.
No problem. I'm sure we'll sing and dance forever and a day.
We will indeed. I don't know. Singing. Yeah, no. Dancing. No. But and everybody here as well, have a very nice Christmas.
Yes, please do. Go and have a good Christmas. Go and spend it with the loved ones. And remember, it's not about what's under the tree, it's who's around it.
It is indeed. I thought you were going to be rude then.
No, I'm genuinely genuinely being heartfelt.
What's under the dress doesn't matter. I just know you too well. That's the thing.
Trust me, the skirt under the tree is the only skirt I'll be lifting this year.
You and me both, mate. And and I know you're going to be spending it with your kids, and I think we kind of said this yesterday with Christmas. I've got 2 trees up there and a Merry Christmas sign, and that's it. That's about as festive as I've got because I've been away in Lanzarote, if you didn't know. And then the weekend before that, I was in London with my girls. So when you're growing up, it's all. I mean, look at those pictures I did yesterday. Christmas is all about the kids,
Yeah.
and then when you're a kid, it is, and then you grow up and have your own kids, and it is, and then your kids get older, and suddenly you're thinking, because I mean, you've not reached this point yet. You've still got quite young children, where mine are like the youngest of 26. You're thinking like, yeah, it's not the same, is it? I'll send you money. What do you want? You know, and then you have a granddaughter pop along, and suddenly it's all back again. It's all back on. But
You know,
the
the worst thing is, Chris, is that I've realised, I don't know what it is with parents or grandparents, they seem to do more now than they did when we were younger. Halloween, my mum and stepdad go all out. They'll decorate front garden and everything else, and people like, oh, we've travelled from Todmorden and Bacup to come look at your house and stuff. You wouldn't even let me knock on the neighbour 3 doors down.
Yeah, but you had got a restraining order against you, hadn't you?
I'm on about when I was a kid. But I mean,
even so.
It was him with the restraining order. That's probably why I weren't allowed 3 doors down.
Was he your uncle?
With Dave's uncle.
You got to watch last night's show to get that, guys.
I don't want Uncle Bulgaria wombling all over me. None of that.
Oh, don't they? I love the wombles. Don't start with. Don't have a go at me on the wombles.
No, there's a cock womble in the chat called Anthony Herbert.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue on that. Anthony and everybody else in the chat, thank you very much.
Have a good Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
Look, be sure to go over to Turf Moorhouse TV on YouTube and most other platforms, and subscribe and follow and like and lick his arse and do all that. And if you're a Burnley fan, I don't know where that tongue's been. Actually, I do, and that's the worrying thing. And, if you're a Burnley fan that's popped in, simply look, he's subscribed and enjoyed it. LTID TV on all your major platforms. I'm off to bed, and Christmas is just around the corner, everybody.
It sure is.
It sure is. I've got to try and find now where I'd put my... it's down at the bottom here. So, Dan, it's been a pleasure, sir. We'll do these again in the new year, so I'm sure you don't want to do one of these New Year's Eve.
Definitely, but I know this won't be the last I speak to you before Christmas. That's for sure.
It won't. Although I've tried to block your number, but there we go. All the best, mate. Happy Christmas to everybody. Take care, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.